She may be the baby of the bunch, but according to recent polls, she's also the most fancied.
I'm 21, I'm an Aquarius, and I am known as Baby Spice. My first childhood memory is when I was in a pram. I remember this so well. People don't believe me, but it's true. I remember, and I was sitting, and I was all warm, and I had one of them plastic covers over me, and it was raining really heavily, and I was sitting there, and I was all really cosy, and my mum was, poor thing, was soaking wet, but I just remember that feeling was quite really warm and all like, you know, really cool. It was lovely. That was my first memory of a child. I was quite a happy child actually. I went to bed on my own, and you know, did quite, you know, I was always happy and smiling. And I always liked tickling. My dad's also a really cool bloke, a bit young in his way sometimes, which is fun because I can still go out and have a laugh with him. And he's lovely as well. Yeah, I was quite a mummy's girl. But I did always I remember my dad always saying I'd fall asleep on his chest. That's the only place I fall asleep when I was a baby, because it was warm, I suppose. My mum saw me washing and me dinner when I get home. And it's nice because we're more like flatmates. You know, if one night I say, look, I'm having some of the girls round, or I'm having some friends round, then, you know, she'll go out for the night. Or if she wants friends, you know, so we're more like flatmates, and I have my own space, my own room, and so it's brilliant, really. My brother's cool. He's a bit younger than me, and he doesn't really take any notice of it. You know, he sees me in pain and thinks, oh, that's just Emma. She's still a cow. But yeah, we get on really well as well, so it's nice.
Emma may have kissable lips now, but it wasn't always the case.
My first kiss was horrible. God, I hope he's not watching. It was actually I remember where it was in Marylebone Station, after school, and I was very, very nervous. And it was just quick and sloppy, really. But I remember he didn't have very nice lips. Sorry, I do like you, but I always had just really good fun. I meet loads of new friends. I used to call it Smiles. I was just a real poser, really. You know, I just like posing, and we'd have ice creams, and it was just brilliant fun. I'd go away a lot with like my mum and a group of other children, obviously. But we used to work like every other day, so the other days we'd sunbathe and run around, and so I just remember it as being complete fun. It was brilliant. Loved it.
But posing in front of the camera wasn't enough for this baby.
I always wanted to be in the since I was I started ballet when I was 2 because I was very hyper and always wanted to do things. And then jazz came along, and then tap, so I did it all at quite an early age, and I always wanted to be an entertainer, I think. And then when I got older, I naturally fell into acting because I was at an acting school, and I really enjoyed that as well. But I think my favourite thing was always singing and dancing.
Still to come, how this girl's loss was Emma's gain.
I knew that if I left even for a year that I wouldn't go back.
The first one there was quite a lot of people there, the second one there was about 20, and then the third one I remember there being about 6, which was at the actual Elstree Studios. And I remember that quite well. I wanted to get it, it was quite a big thing at the point, but I do always remember having in the back of my mind, I'm not sure if I want to be an actress, I want to be a singer.
With dreams of pop stardom, fate intervened when one of the Spice Girls dropped out and Emma's singing teacher put her forward.
I knew that if I left even for a year that I wouldn't go back. And it's something which I always wanted. I wanted to get my degree before I went on and did anything else. I never wanted to give up the music.
I actually knew Vicky, and she gave me a call, and then I had a singing teacher at college who said, you know, that someone wanted to see me, so I went along just with her, and it was just like, had a sing and then joined the girls. But I did know Vicky before, and I'd met Jerry like in the midst of it all as well. As soon as I met the girls, it was just like that, it was bam. It was like fate, because it worked so well together. As soon as I hadn't met Melanie before in my life, and Melanie B, and we clicked straight away. I remember the first night I was there, I did get a bit, because it was my first time away from home, I got a bit homesick, so I went to Jerry, and that again, we, you know, clicked straight away, so it was like fate. Before I came along as well, the girls, you know, were deciding that they wanted to leave this management because it wasn't working. They wanted them to dress the same, they wanted them to sing material that we hadn't written, and it was like, so there was this thing going around, and when I got there it was like, yeah, and we lived together, and it was like this thing, we started writing material, it all just, in a way, just, you know, went into, like a puzzle, it went into place, and it was perfect.
But is this life of pop stardom as perfect as it seems?
To be honest, I mean, everyone thinks it must have changed loads, but it hasn't. I still live at home with my mum in the same place. I still see, you know, as many friends as I can. I still see some really good friends. The only thing that's changed is that I'm much busier, you know, really, and a little bit more money. It has been hard, obviously, you know, because I chose this and I knew that I was going to be in the public eye, but my family didn't. But you know, they come for me for advice, and I go to them for advice, and we just keep each other, you know, together and stable. We stay on the ground and just talk to each other about it, really. It's the best way to deal with it. If you take notice of the good press, you'll get a big head. If you take notice of the down press, then you'll just fall apart. So I think, you know, I'm hoping I've really learnt by a lot of things, and I'm trying to keep saying, and you know, cool. I met him quite a few years ago before I moved in with the girls, and we did start off as best friends, so that was nice. Just developed.
And for this Spice Girl, the future holds no threat.
We want to stay happy and strong together. You know, we literally take each day as it comes. It's up to the public, you know, how they take the Spice Girls. You know, one minute we might be flavour of the month, next minute we might not be. So we take each day we come, have a laugh, and you know, live for each day, really.